Hi everyone, I'm Thomas Ketchell. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Sutori, and I'm going to present to you today Sutori for schools and districts and what we can offer. So I'm actually going to be using our own product for this presentation, so you can really get an idea of what Sutori is about and how it works. And so Sutori is primarily a presentation and creation tool used across the content areas and grade levels. We have over 600,000 educators and students which are using our platform, and it's really global. It's used in over 138 countries. It's spread primarily through word of mouth, with teachers sharing it with other teachers, with teachers creating and organizing professional development workshops, and also students sharing the tool with their peers. And there are three ways that Sutori is primarily used. The first one is students creating. So they can create interactive essays, class presentations, blogs, student portfolios. They can use the wealth of resources on the web to gather information and different media, so students can add in images, videos, audio files, and they can rework it directly into a Sutori presentation. Students really love how intuitive it is. We often hear of how much better it is than a traditional PowerPoint presentation or a Google slide. And the second way that it's really used is through teacher sharing. Teachers can create the content themselves, or they can gather all the information and resources that they have on a subject together in one spot. They can also use content from our community. There's a library of resources created by other teachers for anyone to freely use as well. And the third way is through template assignments, which is very popular with our teachers. They can set up classes on Sutori, import their students in one go, and all the work can be managed within the platform. You can also easily copy any story on the platform, so it's great for personalizing individual content for different students. And I can even, if I go to the top right here, I can print the story, but I can also just copy it. So I'll make a copy, and I can edit it as I please and share it back out with students. And so, what kind of content and grade levels are being used with Sutori? It's social studies. We have geography, history, civics. We primarily started out as a social studies tool, primarily for history and the study of history. We have a lot of research projects on there, essays, timelines. In terms of language and arts, teachers can use Sutori to create context around a Shakespeare play by including the themes. They can put the biography of the author, how the play fits into the context of the time and the Shakespeare's corpus. They can include videos, audio files. They can put links to other websites. They can even build in quizzes. And that really makes the content come to life. And that's really what Sutori is about. It's students creating their own presentations, adding their interpretation of the play, and then the teacher could even ask them to rewrite passages in modern English, for example. And that's really one specific use case around ELA for using Sutori. And thirdly, we have more use, obviously, in the liberal arts, but math and science are starting to grow. And it's really the linear format of Sutori makes it perfect when students have to demonstrate knowledge, whether in a math or science context. And this is why we really push for people to use Sutori, and it's the 4Cs. And it's identified as the 4 skills for 21st century learners by a coalition of partners, including the National Education Association, the NEA, the United States Department. And the first one is really collaboration for group and class projects. So here you can see that's me, my name, Thomas Ketchell. I'm working with my brother on this Sutori. So we're both collaborating in real time, creating this presentation and project. We really push for the creativity as well. So we have a sort of Lego blocks format. And that's because the different items on Sutori can be seen as individual Lego blocks that once assembled can bring about something really beautiful. And that really pushes for creativity. So you can see all these different types of visuals that we're adding and videos that I'll go through a bit below in this presentation. Thirdly, critical thinking. This is on the shoulders of educators, but with a tool like Sutori, we can really assist it. We make it easy to add image captions, citations to work. We even have a space to input sources and bibliography at the end of the story. And we have an array of digital citizenship resources. It's it's not because it was on the internet that it's necessarily true, and that's why we try and push our teachers to make the most of these digital citizenship resources that we have available for them. And lastly, the fourth C is communication. Sutori is extremely easy to share. You can embed in online portfolios into other websites. You can share directly to learning management systems or share directly to Google Classroom. There really is no friction. They simply have to click on the share at the top of the story. And that brings us to why you'd want to use Sutori. And it's really because we're aligned to the SAMR model. And the model, this was created by Dr. Ruben Puntudura to determine whether the technology application is enhancing or transforming learning. Sutori does both, and I'll take a kind of an example to illustrate this. In terms of a social studies example, so a teacher can ask students to do a presentation on the geography of a particular country using an online tool such as Sutori. This is the straight substitution, much like a PowerPoint or a Prezi. The augmentation, this comes in the form of the interactive multimedia you can embed into Sutori. So audio, videos, hyperlinks, they all give more depth and increase engagement with the content. The flexibility of Sutori allows for creativity to flourish. You can rewrite content so that it becomes a quiz question. You could even ask students to create a video that transforms the content and becomes something that you interact with. And you can put it all directly onto Sutori. The modification aspects can take on many forms depending on the teacher's instructions and guidance. Presentations can actually become fun travel brochures, for example. And finally, Sutori really helps in redefining tasks. Powerful online learning tools can all be embedded into Sutori. So you could embed a Google map, for example, that truly transforms a geography assignment. Or you can embed a ThinkLink 360, which will totally transform the assignment too, and make it a lot more interactive for the students. And so, as we continue on, Sutori fits into your learning management system. So we integrate directly with leading LMSs. You can onboard students in 1 or 2 clicks. If you have any specific LMS integration that you're after, we can also customize the integration and get it done. And as I mentioned on the last point, in terms of embedding anything, so you can add any type of resource, a tweet, a Google Drive folder, a Buncee, a Flipgrid, a Prezi, a Quizlet. You can embed them directly into Sutori and they'll work perfectly for your students. And so as we go into testimonials, so we have 3 different types of testimonials here. We have Ed Finney, a social studies teacher, who said that Sutori increased the students' engagement. Trisha, who's a humanities teacher, who said that she loves Sutori because they create wonderful dynamic multimedia timelines. And Kristen, who's an elementary teacher, who actually uses it as a class communication blog. And so she shares a lot of these stories with parents for them to kind of have a feedback loop and discuss it in more detail about what the kids have been up to during the week. And we have a feature called Sutori Analytics. And this really enables you to check how your students are doing. If you've built in quiz questions, you can pinpoint the stumbling blocks. It can be both formative and summative assessments. You get stats on the comments and discussions, so you can see who's participating and where. And then you also get an overview in terms of the viewing times, if they're viewing a story that you've shared with them, or the editing times if they've been creating. And that's particularly helpful to figure out how long students have been spending on a project. All of this data and all of these results can be exported in one go to a CSV file and then straight to your gradebook. So we actually have a video here as well if you want to come and view the analytics option in more details. So what do we offer for schools and districts? Well, for us, privacy is key and it really matters. All data is private by default. We don't share any data with third parties aside from those used to help run Sutori, the platform. We are fully COPPA compliant and ensure all data from the third parties is always private. Sutori works on any device as long as there's an internet connection. We are also on the Chrome and Windows app stores, so you can also immediately install it in one click. And we provide an admin panel for school or district-wide administrators so they can set up and manage all of their Sutori accounts in one go. So our pricing, we have a free plan, which is a basic version of Sutori, so you can add text, images, import students, collaborate. Our paying plan is the basic version plus videos, quizzes, embedded content like a Prezi, a Quizlet, Google Slide. You can add audio and you get access to the Sutori analytics. So we sell that individually to teachers for $99 a year, so around $8.25 a month. And then we also offer Sutori for institutions, which is the LMS integrations, the LTI. We have a dedicated live support. We also provide free professional development training for your teachers. So we'd love to set you up with that. And we can either do it in person or else we'll pre-record a webinar based on your teacher's needs. And so we provide discounts on the individual teacher price. And that's coming up to the end of the presentation. So thanks for watching this. You can contact us at any time. So I'm Thomas, I'm the co-founder of the company, and you can reach me at thomas@sutori.com. And Jonathan, who is our former teacher and currently now our education director, who also co-founded the company, and he can be reached at jonathan@sutori.com. But thanks for watching, and hopefully we'll be working with your school real soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.